For 111, we have the common carotid artery. 112, we have the common sinus. 113, the internal carotid, and 115, the external carotid. 114, we have the ophthalmic artery. 116, the superior thyroid artery. 117, the ascending pharyngeal artery. And 118, the lingual artery. 119, we have the facial artery, also seen on the mandible, on the lingual side, and the facial side. We also have 120, the ascending palatine artery right there. 121, the submental artery. 122, the inferior labial artery. We have 123, the superior labial artery, and 124, the angular artery. And then grabbing our neck, we can see the occipital artery, and then 126, the posterior auricular artery. Both of those there. And then on the skull, the posterior auricular artery, and then the occipital beneath that. 127, the maxillary artery. 28, the middle meningeal artery. 129, inferior alveolar artery. 130, the mylohyoid artery. 131, the mental artery. 132, the incisive artery. And 133, the masseter artery. 134, the pterygoid artery. 135, the deep temporal artery. 136, the buccal artery. 137, the PSA artery. 138, the descending palatine artery. 139, the GP artery. And 140, the LP artery, seen right there. 141, the IO artery. 142, the ASA artery. 143, the MSA artery. 144, the sphenopalatine artery. 145, the nasopalatine artery. And then 146, the superficial temporal artery, seen right there. And it's also seen on the neck, right there. Next we have 147, the transverse facial artery. 148, the middle temporal artery. 149, the frontal brachial of superficial temporal artery, and 150, the parietal branch of the superficial temporal artery. Moving on to veins, 151, the internal jugular vein. 152, the facial vein, also seen on the mandible. 153, the submental vein. 154, the inferior labial vein. 155, the superior labial vein. 156, the angular vein. 157, the supraorbital vein. 158, the ophthalmic veins. 159 on the tongue, the lingual vein, also seen on the neck here. 160, the superior thyroid vein. 161, the cavernous venous sinus, seen right there. 162, the PSA vein. 163, the pterygoid venous plexus. 164, the maxillary vein, also seen on the neck. Number 165, the IA vein. 166, the mental vein. 167, the superficial temporal vein, also seen on the neck. We have 168, the deep facial vein. 169, the emissary veins. 170, the retromandibular vein on the neck and on the mandible. 171, external jugular vein, occipital vein, and posterior auricular vein. 71C, the anterior jugular vein. 172, the lacrimal glands. 173, the parotid gland. 173A, Stenson's duct. 175, sublingual gland. 175A, Bartholin's duct. 174, submandibular gland. 174A, Wharton's duct, and the thyroid gland.